Welcome back, Cat 5 class. We're going to go over the last problem in Chapter 4, handout problem 416. Okay, so this is the last problem for Chapter 4. And I will be adding a second video for Chapter 4 lecture, and we'll be covering some of the stuff that we skipped in the first lecture. Okay, such as creating blocks. All right, so let's continue with problem 416. Okay, so we have part of the top view, part of the front, part of the side view. Here's the isometric view. Let's take a look at the 3D model. Okay, there it is. Turn on the edges. All right, so let's take a look at the front view. So typically the front view is the view that gives you the most data, the most information. Okay, so let's go ahead and complete the front view. Notice we have an object line here. Okay, so object line, we have an arc. And no hidden lines in the background because they are overridden by the solid, visible, thicker object lines. All right, so let's go ahead and do the front view. Let me first start by doing the vertical visible line because a lot of students forget this one. See this corner here? We need to draw a visible line going straight down. So line command from this corner goes straight down. And right click enter. Quite a few of you will miss this one. Let's go ahead and shorten it now. There it is, and hit escape to deselect. And once again, that's this edge here that we can see, right? Visible object line. Okay, now let's draw the arc, and then we'll draw our green center line. All right, so let's go to the arc command, arc, and we're going to give it a center first. So click on the word center in the command line. Here's our center. Order does matter. I forget which endpoint we need to pick first. I'll pick this one, okay, and then this one. And there it is. There's the arc. Hit escape to deselect. And all we need now is our green center line. So let's use the annotate tab. Oh, forgot to go to the green center layer first. Go back to the home tab, green center layer, annotate tab, and center mark. Okay, and hit escape to deselect. Now, some of you will forget that even though the green center line is overextending beyond the circle, we got to extend it beyond the semicircle, right? So let's see if I can grab these extensions here. Let me turn off the object snap so I have more freedom to move these arrows or these grips. Okay, and hit escape. There it is. Now notice this is not a symmetrical part. The top is not the same as the bottom. It's not a mirror image, so we do not go all the way across with the green center line. That's good enough the way we have it. Okay, so we're done with the front view. Let's do the top view next. Right side is a little bit tougher. Okay, so let's take a look at the top view. So here's the top, and we need to represent the yellow circular hole with red hidden lines and a green center line. Okay, and we also have a red hidden line representing this pocket here. Okay, so let's take care of that. Let's do the red hidden line first before we forget, representing this pocket. Okay, so let's go back to AutoCAD. So let's do a home tab, back to home tab, red hidden layer. Once again, we have this pocket that we need to represent in the top view. So from this corner, turn on object snap and ortho. From this corner, we need to represent that pocket in the top view, which we cannot see. So we use our red hidden lines. Enter. And let's shorten this to the correct length. And there it is. Hit escape. Okay, and we also need to represent the hidden lines for the hole. So red line from the quadrant. Right click enter. Another red line from the left quadrant. There it is, right click enter and shorten it to the correct length. So this little hole goes all the way through this wall. And don't forget your green center line. Let me hit escape to deselect. Go to green center layer, line command. And I'm going to turn off object snap so I have more control on the extension. And there it is. Right click enter. Okay, we're not quite done yet. Even though it looks like we're done with the top view, there's this portion here we can't see that we need to show with the red hidden line here. Let's look at the 3D model. Okay, so we took care of the circular hole with red hidden lines. We took care of the pocket with red hidden lines. Now under here, under these little tabs that are sticking outward, we have this red hidden line here that we cannot see. So we have an object line which stops, then it continues on from here. But we do have this edge here that we cannot see that we need to draw red. We need to draw a red hidden line to represent it from the top view. Okay, so that red hidden line will not only represent this edge here, but it will also represent the one on top. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so red hidden line, red hidden layer, line command. So once again, from this bottom edge here, let's turn on object snap. And also this edge here. There's that red hidden line, right click enter. That's an easy one to miss. When I grade your papers or your assignment, problem 416, this is the first thing I look for. Did you forget those red hidden line, that red hidden line? Hit escape, there it is. All right, so now let's do the right side view. So we're done with the top, front view. Let's do the right side view. It's a little bit tougher. Double click to zoom fit. All right, so take a look at the 3D model. Take a look at the isometric view and right side view. There it is. Okay, so we need object line which stops and then continues. Same thing at the bottom. And we need to draw these tabs. Okay, let's do that first. Then we'll take care of the red hidden lines. Okay, so the tabs. Okay, let's go to visible layer. Line command, let's go from the top view tab, hit the 45, come straight down. How far down do we go? Up to this point. And right click enter. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the opposite side. Line command, this point right here, hit the 45, come straight down again. Lines up with this vertex. Click and then close it off. And there it is, right click enter. And now we can simply shorten it to the correct length. And get rid of the evidence. Let me hit escape. Get rid of the evidence that we cheated. Okay, so just like we have the tab up here, we have one down here, which is longer. We can just follow the one at the top. Okay, so from here, there it is. Line it up with this one. It lines up with this one. Lines up with that one, go straight down, right click enter. Okay, let's use line command again. Again, from this corner, go across, click, line up with this point here, click, click, and right click enter. There it is. Okay, so we took care of the tabs. Now we need to take care of the pocket. And we can see part of the pocket, object line, skip, object line, object line, skip, object line. So let's do that part. Okay, so line command again. We're still in the visible object layer. So from this point, we're going to go across and stop here. Right click enter. And then continue on the other side. Line command. There it is. Right click enter. Okay, let's shorten this one to the correct length. And repeat at the bottom. Let me hit escape first. Line command. From the bottom one, same thing. Start here. Click. Right click enter and repeat again for the opposite side or the other side. There it is. Right click enter. And there we have our object lines. Ta-da! Now, just like we see the red hidden line on top here in the top view, this little red hidden line, we have the same situation here. Okay, so we just drew the object lines, but we cannot see these hidden lines here, that edge. And same thing at the bottom. Cannot see this red hidden line. So we have the object lines, hidden line, object line. Object line, hidden line, object line. Okay, so let's draw that. So red hidden layer. Right click enter, there it is. To the next one. Right click enter, there you have it. Okay, so we're not done. Let's go back. There's some things we can't see, like we cannot see this wall here. So we're gonna have to draw red hidden lines to represent this thickness, and then we need to also bring in red hidden lines for the hole and its center line for the axis. Okay, so we need to represent that wall thickness. It goes all the way down on both sides. Okay, so let's go back to the side view. There it is. All right, so back to AutoCAD. Okay, so let's use red hidden lines. Okay, representing the thickness of this wall. Hit the 45, go straight down. Right click enter, repeat for the opposite side. So again, the thickness of this wall, hit the 45, go straight down, right click enter, and shorten it to the correct length. And then get rid of the evidence that you cheated. Let me hit escape first, delete the evidence. All right, so we're almost there. All we need is now to represent the little hole. Okay, oh, and don't ever draw the tangent lines, right? Forgot to mention that. Don't draw this tangent line. We actually cannot see it. It's going from a flat to a curved surface, but it's a smooth transition, so we actually don't see this line. Okay, so let's draw the hole and we'll be done. Okay, so red hidden lines from the top quadrant. Right click enter, and from the bottom quadrant. And it actually doesn't go all the way through, it only goes through the wall, so actually way overextended on the first one. Okay, so the hole, notice the hole, it only goes through this wall. It only goes through the red hidden wall. Oh, hit escape. So we actually need to shorten this red hidden line to the correct length. It's way too long. Same thing on the bottom. Okay, hit escape. There it is. So that hole, same one we see here. And we need a green center line. From the center of the hole, go across. And there it is. Okay, I think we're done. Let's go ahead and turn off the yellow construction lines. Double click to do a zoom fit. Oh, we're already there, zoom fit. Okay, let's take a look at the answer key. Looks like we have everything. Go to the last page. Yep. We got all the red hidden lines, even the little ones. Okay, we got the hole and the wall thickness, center lines, hidden lines. Yep. Okay, looks like we're done. Let's end this one by adding a title block and border. Okay, so let me first save as, add my initials, and save, and I'm going to insert title block. So let me go ahead and open up title blocks. And I'm going to use a B size, 11 by 17, selected, Control C to copy, go back to your drawing and Control V as in Victor. And notice even though this is an 11 by 17, this drawing is way too, let me turn on snap. Okay, so what's going on? And the reason is because this is in millimeters. So this is in millimeters. So here we're looking at 150 and so on. So AutoCAD doesn't see units such as millimeters and inches. It just thinks units. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so what we can do is we can shrink down our 3 views to fit the title block and border. So let me temporarily turn off the title block. Yeah, it automatically, oh, let's see if I can turn it off. It's part of the block, so it's not allowing me to turn it off. So let me delete it and then I'll reinsert it. So let me first guesstimate the size. I'm going to cut it down to quarter size maybe. I can always take the title block and border and scale it up, or I can take the 3 views and scale them down. Let me hit escape. Let me delete the title block and border first, delete, and let me scale down these 3 views. So I'm going to left mouse click, hold the left mouse button, and yeehaw, capture the cattle, right, with your lasso. All right, so now we're going to scale down, and I'm going to pick the origin. It's up to you which you want to pick. So I'm going to go 1/4 or 0.25. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So I'm going to scale it down by a quarter size. Enter, there it is. Whoa, the center mark. So the center mark kept its properties. So let me turn off object snap, turn off snap. So I can reduce the size of these arrows. Okay, and hit escape to deselect. All right, so now let's reinsert our title block one more time. Control C to copy, go back to your drawing and Control V. And it's almost a perfect fit, right? Okay, normally I would want to put it at 0, 0. But just to save time, I'll just place it right there. Okay, and then I can always move the whole thing. Window lasso again. I'm going to move the entire thing from this bottom corner. Turn on object snap. And move it over to the origin. Let me turn off ortho, turn on snap. So I lined it up with the red axis, horizontal axis, and the green vertical axis. Okay, so that was one option. Okay, another option is to add the title block and border and layout. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to scale this back up to 4 times its size. Yep, I'm going to scale it back up, because we're going to add the title block and border in the layout tab. And again, this is optional, the title block and border. So I'm going to scale it back up. I'll pick the origin and go 4 times, right? 4 times, go back to the regular scale. So type in 4 in the command line, enter, there it is. And I have to fix my green center mark, which is okay. Okay, and hit escape. Okay, so I can do the title block and border on the layout tab. Let's go to layout. Change the sheet size. So I'm going to right click on layout tab. Go to page setup manager. Modify the layout. There's only one. You can always add more layouts by hitting the plus sign, and I'll show you that later on during the semester. Okay, so let's go to ePlot so I can get more choices on sheet sizes. Let's go to 11 by 17 B size and OK. And the sheet size will change. There it is. And Control V to change to insert, my mistake, insert our title block and border. There it is. Okay, and our viewport is in the wrong layer. It's all right, I'll move it in a minute. So I'll increase the size of our viewport. And I don't have a layer set up for viewport, so I'll just move it over to the 0 layer. And it's there, it's just yellow, it's hard to see. Okay. Let me hit escape to deselect, and then I'll click inside the viewport and pick a nice scale, which I don't have the one I'm looking for. So let's go to customize, reset, add all the scales, metric and imperial. Now we have all the scales, at least the standardized ones. Hit OK. Now you can make sure you're in the viewport. Let's try 1:1 scale. Way too big. Let's try half scale, 1:2, half scale. Still too big. And let's go to 1:4, quarter. Okay, that actually works. Pretty close. You know what? Let's go to 1:5. I try and avoid using odd numbers, but 1:5. That works. That's even cleaner. Okay, so in your scale down here, you would put 1:5. Okay, so let's double click outside. So we're back on the sheet. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so for scale, going to add text. So we're using a 1:5 scale. So let's go to text. And I should actually, let me hit escape. I need to add a text layer. Forgot to add a text layer. New layer, text. Okay, I'll make it white or black. And no thickness. Default. No thickness for the line. Or for the text, I should say. Okay, so let's exit. Let's go over to the text layer. And insert text. Where we have scale. And let me turn off object snap so I can freely move my text. And my scale is going to be 1:5, right? Or 1/5, 1:5. And then I'm going to left mouse click and highlight and change it to a font height or text height of 0.16. You can always type in the text height and then click outside the text box, and there's our scale. Let me move it over. Trying to move it over. Let's use the move command. There it is. Center it, hit escape to deselect, and you can add more text if you like. That's optional. Okay, let me double click on the wheel to zoom fit, and there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and save my work. Hit save. Okay, so that's the last problem on this handout, chapter 4. And I will create another video for chapter 4 lecture, which will cover creating blocks. So a title block and border is a good example of a block. All right, so see you in the next video.